So, hello everybody, I'm Jesse, and this is Brooke.
Hello.
Brooke wanted to do this
Well,
live.
someone had mentioned we should do this, and I mentioned it to you.
I said this is your idea, so we're gonna.
No, it was someone else's idea.
Whatever. So, anyways, we're doing this live Q&A.
It sounds low. Maybe we just need to talk louder.
Speak louder.
We'll talk louder, Edith.
So we're here to answer any questions you got, whether it comes from the live streams, the group investigations, the museums, the places we investigate. If there's anything you want to know, now is the time to do it. I do want to address a few things that I know people are having issues with, and that's during the live streams. Our moderators are commenting as a Brooksville PIT, and it can be kind of confusing. We are working on getting that situated. Facebook's kind of finicky, so I believe after talking to Edith and Carol and show them a video of how to do this on their PC, I think that we might have this resolved very soon.
Is the volume enough? Should we get closer?
I don't know what to do about the volume. Once you turn your phone up real quick in here. Are we too close?
No, are we too? No, we're not too close. I don't think so.
Is that better?
Can you hear us better now? Okay, listen alone. Hey, Tammy.
Okay, so anything you want to ask? This is an open floor. Doesn't matter. Anything you want to know about the ghosts, about our investigations, what scary things we've seen, just throw them out there and we'll answer anything you have to ask. And go.
Sound is better, I think. Okay, all good.
All good.
There's 44 people watching. Anyone have a question? Sorry, Tammy. Good. Okay, can you clear up orbs and dusts?
Sure. For orbs and dust, it's hard for me to call much of it paranormal. Right. It's hard to really prove what's orbs and what's dust. I will say that most of the time, the dust falls like snow. Sometimes in our lives, we're walking around, the air conditioner might be running, we're kicking up dust, and that's a lot of times I think that's what we're seeing at the beginning of our live streams. But as the night progresses and the air conditioner is not running and we are getting stuff floating around, that's a better chance to me that we might be looking at some kind of orbs, especially if they are thicker and brighter than a regular dust. Dusts don't usually move around, especially if they seem intelligent, like they might turn a corner or something like that. That would make me believe that we're looking at a spirit orb. Dust usually might just fall or just go into one direction. But if it goes into one direction, it stops and turns and goes somewhere else, I believe that to be more paranormal. And what do you think?
I think the same orb, but a lot of times when you have had what appears to be an orb and then it goes right into the antenna where the top is, and then it goes off.
Right.
It does that time. Or as you're asking a question and the spirit box, there's an orb going into it, so you get a voice.
Yeah, that's another
Like
good point.
That's another time when I tend to validate it. It's just really hard to prove. And a lot of the locations we go to are very dusty. It's just the way it is.
I clean the crap out of my house and stuff.
Every place is dusty. So let's see. Would love to hear the scariest thing you have encountered.
Go ahead, Brooke, you first.
It's hard to say. Like, Recently, I really haven't experienced anything that was too scary. The scariest thing I've ever encountered was when I was a child. And I had a lot of visions regarding my father, and how he would die, and pretty graphic. But I haven't had anything like really recently scary. But you have not any recent.
I am a scare junkie. I am looking to be scared. So that's why I don't mind going off alone and doing my own thing, because I'm looking for that scare. But I'd say the scariest thing that ever happened to me was back in 2015. I brought a demonic spirit or entity home with me. He was attached to me in my house for about 2 months. The first night I realized it was there. I was laying in bed and my dog was sleeping with me, and my bathroom door was shut and my towel's hanging off of it. And my dog woke up growling, staring at the door, and the towel flung off. And I was like, okay. A couple nights later, same thing, my dog was growling. He was staring at my bedroom door, and out of nowhere, just pound right on the door. I honestly believe my dog jumped up, started running to the door barking. I reached under my bed, grabbed my gun, and I'm going all through the house because I believe somebody was there. On the way back to my room the final time, I felt the presence behind me, and I ended up getting down on my knees and praying. The final time before, and during all this, I was having really vivid dreams where I'd wake up and my nightstand would be pushed over, my blankets would be all ripped off the bed. I was having some really awful dreams. The last time before I got a priest involved was I was laying in bed once again sleeping, and I heard a growl, and I thought it was my dog again. And then as I opened my eyes, I got to thinking, my daughter's home. My dog's in there with her, and this growling was coming out from underneath my bed. After that really scared me. I actually left my room for the night, and I slept in the living room. But I've had numerous scares, but that's one of the ones I rarely talk about, I think. And it's always scarier when it's your house. You know what I mean? But yeah, we did get rid of it. It's all good.
That's what happens when you go to a lot of haunted locations and cemeteries. You do tend to bring things home. Sometimes they just kind of stay for a few days and leave, but
yeah,
it's a little worse.
Cemeteries tend to be where we get the most followers. If you think about it,
that's what people don't really understand. Cemeteries are the place you most likely bring something home.
Even if you're not ghost hunting.
Yeah.
You're just walking through there visiting a loved one, you can grab an attachment and bring it home with you. And they think about if you were passed away and you were at a cemetery and you see somebody walking through there, you don't want to be stuck at that cemetery. So you attach to these people and you go home with them, and maybe you're trying to tell them a story or something you want to get out so you can cross over. So a lot of times when we do bring spirits home, we do try to work on trying to figure out what they want, and if they're not going to answer, we just ask them to leave, and usually they do leave on their own.
I mean, it's like I just recently, a few weeks ago, went to visit my dad in the cemetery, and I was filming, and I had an EVP with, it was a hey, and it wasn't my father's voice, it was just a random spirit saying hey, in a short little clip. I filmed at my dad's gravesite, so it's true. I think the number one place is cemeteries for bringing stuff home.
Because you don't want to be there.
Yeah. Do you ever get scared of ghosts? I think for me, it just depends on the feeling you get when you're sensing something that's present. It's all about that feeling. If it
terrifies you, it's usually demonic.
Yeah.
It all depends too, because you look in one direction and there's a person there that's not supposed to be there. It might startle you for a minute, and I cuss, so shit. You know, and I don't know.
I've never seen it full. It goes full body. Have you ever had a conversation of more than one word? We've had definitely conversations that consisted of like, sentences, EVP.
Absolutely. Just like Molly saying, hi, I'm Molly. We've gotten, you know, all kinds of stuff. One time in a cemetery, I asked the spirit, you know, why is he still here? You know, and he said, I fear judgment. And sometimes I believe that's one of the reasons why spirits stick around is, you know, very faithful people, and when they pass away, they're afraid of being judged and sent to hell. So, yeah, we do get good sentences at times, but it takes a lot for these spirits to speak to us.
I think it takes obviously a lot of energy on their part to give us more than one word, but we received a lot of full sentences and intelligent responses to our questions.
And unfortunately, sometimes it's not together. It might be, hey, you know,
and then later, like
and
there's
then
a
something
delay.
else, you know, and they make their sentence, but it doesn't come out at once, and it might even be delayed from a question you asked 2 questions ago, that they can finally respond to that question.
What's the best piece of proof that you have saved from your investigations?
You don't have one?
Best proof? I know the most exciting proof I have is in Jesse May's room because we have the SLS footage of a crawling child and then the ball moving, REM pods going off, and then later a child giggle in the room. I mean, that's just because it excites me. I don't know if that's like the best evidence.
I don't know. We investigated Chinskit Hill in 2015. We did get an apparition. Well, it was actually legs walking in the attic up there, and that's, I believe that might be on our Facebook, and if not, it's on our YouTube. But we did get that, so it was part of an apparition walking through the attic. At the same time, we captured the footsteps of the spirit. We've also got the other orb that actually followed me from one room. I went into one of the rooms because the REM pod was going off. I go in there and check, and I don't see anything. As I turn around and turn the light off, an orb follows me from where the REM pod was, all the way out the door and back around again. Of course, we've over the years gotten some shadow figures. The very first time we captured one was in 2013 at a cemetery in the woods. Craig and I did. That was a good piece of evidence. Another shadow figure at Old South Pittsburgh Hospital that looked like a creature of some type, and that was around the spot that they had a pentagram that was painted in the floor, so who knows what was going on back then.
Okay, so last night, some people saw faces in the back of the fireplace and mirror last night. Is it more because we want to believe that they saw faces in the mirror?
Honestly, I mean, sometimes.
Melissa Kate.
What is that cute parrot? I can't think of the word. That thing that makes you see faces out of things that doesn't exist, because your mind tries to put faces into everything.
Yeah, that's one that's kind of hard.
I'm not.
Were you seeing, I mean, I guess people were seeing faces last night.
It's very possible. I mean, we don't. Unfortunately, I can't sit up all night and watch the live stream. That's why we're thankful to have Edith and Carol that they do sit up and watch it. But I get up early and I take all this down. I come here a mess. Flip flops on, my hair all over started. I ain't barely even wake, and I come and take everything down because this place has to open in the morning. So I try to go to bed a little early. But I mean, I'm not a fan of zoomed in pictures, so.
I know. I always love it when we get pictures, but Jesse's really, you're a harsh critic when it comes to pictures and zoomed in faces.
Right.
You are. I'm critical when it comes to that.
I don't know, I'm just not a fan of it. Like, I shouldn't have to zoom in to see this.
Yeah.
But,
And then Evelyn said, last night, whoa, an orb left a door down to carpet into middle of the floor and took a 90 and went back to the door last night.
Is See, that's something I would think.
That's, yeah, Evelyn, that, you would think that's something to look into as a possible orb. It's traveling and moving different directions.
Right,
So
it's
apparently
not-
a lot happened last night. I haven't watched the live, and I don't know if you've watched any of it yet. We will watch it though.
I've been busy all day. We're getting ready for tonight. And of course our other wife duties.
Yes. And Melvin, I know Melvin sent us a picture of a light orb that he saw at 1:33. Someone else told us, Autumn told us about a light orb at 1:33. So we'll have to check it out. At 1:33 a.m. It was, I guess, a spectacular orb from here.
I know Edith and Carol said at the end of the night, like the last hour was crazy, so I mean, I'll have to.
We're gonna have to watch the live again.
Yeah.
The parlor's usually not as active.
Well, it's not really invested.
It was not investigated as much, so maybe a lot happened after we left.
And this is where we're at now, the part of it.
Yes. Jan said, hello Jan. Is there any more talk about looking for graves on the Masonry property by the city?
I think we have abandoned that whole deal.
Unfortunately.
It's up to the museum board to come to an agreement on that, and we haven't been able to come to an agreement on it. There's a lot of things that could happen if we did find out with the cemetery. So I mean,
yes, unfortunately we have no idea where the May cemetery is.
or if that's ever gonna be
If
happening.
we'll ever discover where Morena, Franklin, John May, and Jesse May are buried. We just don't know, and we haven't had any progress, unfortunately. We would love to know. We ask all the time for the spirits to kind of guide us, but we just haven't had any kind of response. I don't know if you've gotten any general direction.
No.
No. We had something on that. Krista was watching when the flashlight pin was pushed from the banister. Has it happened again? So I think Roy's talking about when Brendan pushed the flashlight upstairs.
No, that's never happened again.
But Jesse had, not last Christmas, but the Christmas before, you did have the flashlight thrown at you in the attic.
Yeah.
But in that area, that was the only time you had the flashlight removed from.
Yeah. Gary was like, hey, get this crap off my phone.
Yeah.
Gary's really grown over the years.
Yes, I was just about to say that. Gary has really, I don't know, I mean, I've noticed the longest time that Gary's been, I mean, he's always been nice to me, but I think Gary overall has really settled down and just, he mostly engages with people in a comical manner. I haven't really heard him being too mean lately.
No,
I think he's just kind of accepted that he's here,
Hmm.
and, I mean, not that he's really like jokes on people, but I don't think he's as angry at all.
Yeah, weird.
Susan said I was a very young girl when I had my first experience. At what age did you both have your first paranormal experience? Mine was when I was in kindergarten. What about you?
It would seem at the same time, Craig, the other guy on our team.
Yeah, Craig couldn't be here tonight because he's with his little girl, but he is going to be here later for our group tour.
Craig had a very haunted house growing up. When I was a kid, I was into Ghostbusters and everything. But when you're a kid, you don't really want to see a ghost like that.
I don't know.
I've seen apparitions in Craig's house. I've seen, I remember the TV would come on and it would come on 100% volume on the like the 900 channel was all preaching and stuff. That was one of the scariest places. The upstairs was evil. I remember laying on Craig's bed one night. He had a waterbed in our waterbed. And Craig went to the bathroom, and Craig come back in bed with me, and I go over to punch at him, and nobody's there. There's an invention in the bed.
So somebody jumped in the bed and it wasn't Craig?
No, he was still in the bathroom.
I didn't know
and
this
I'm like, Dad, I don't feel good.
Come
Come get me. And Craig was asleep with this guy thing.
Yeah, because Jesse and Craig, you guys have known each other since you were like 4.
Yeah. It's basically a brother.
Yeah, Craig's like just and Bill, hey Bill. Bill said yes, cemeteries are good for attachments, laugh out loud. Bill's seen an apparition not too long ago, right Bill? Let's see. Alyssa said, I've never had a paranormal experience, but really want to experience one. How can I do that? Because I haven't had any luck. Alyssa, you were on our group tour at the jail. So, do you have any advice for Alyssa on how to?
My advice is to not stop.
Just keep trying.
You gotta keep trying, you gotta keep an open mind. The best thing to do is to unlock your mind. Learn on ways to meditate, and Brooks the Crystal Queen, she'll tell you, try different crystals that might help you open up. You have to open up your mind. Once you open up your mind, you become a beacon of light to spirits, and spirits are going to follow you, and they're going to try to talk to you, and they're going to try to communicate with you more.
Yeah, it's really about seeing the world in a different way. And when you start just meditating and just raising your vibration, I mean, and it's not even something like a lot of people will want to be taught. Like if you really focus on it and keep trying and trying, like you instinctively can get there.
Right.
Yeah, you just have to have the patience and the drive and want to like increase your vibration, and you just will start getting signs like from the universe even, and just opening yourself up, and it just like.
Yeah, you'll start having feelings that you don't understand until like.
And don't ignore those feelings.
Yeah, spirit appears or something, because I know when I first started investigating in 2013, I couldn't feel spirits, but now I can tell you when there's a spirit around.
Yeah, it's like at the jail, as soon as Jesse came down the stairs, the jail was it?
Yeah, I think it was when she was there.
Yeah, Alyssa, like when we were at the jail, when Jesse came down the stairs, it was weird because sometimes with spirits, like I know for myself, I feel different sensations based on the type of entity or I don't know. But as soon as he came down the stairs, I could feel a spirit with Jesse. Like I had a ringing in one ear, and then I felt this wave, and then I could sense like the mist, and then you felt it too.
Yeah. And
I was like, bring it back upstairs to the desk.
I think I brought it back up to them.
You tried to bring it back up to you. I don't.
You want to have an experience. It's going to be hard. It's also about who you're with.
Yes, who you're with is essential, because if you're with certain people, they will block spiritual activity and close off that energy.
My best suggestion is to try going at it yourself.
Yeah, by yourself.
That's what we preach about in group tours, is go off and do your own thing. Try to stay in small groups. If you can go off and do your own thing, you're going to have your own experience. Just keep trying and don't give up.
Okay, and then Tammy asked, have you ever used tarot cards during an investigation, and what were the results? Well, Tammy, I use tarot cards during investigations. I did last weekend at the jail before everyone arrived. It's interesting, I was in the female cell by myself working with one of my tarot decks, and it happened to be the cell where a female inmate had killed herself, and I got the tower and the hanged man and certain other ones that kind of aligned with what we know of what happened to her. It's just interesting. I just find that when I do a tarot reading and it kind of lines up with the history and the place, it just kind of confirms things for me, but I don't know. It's just, to me, such a unique experience, and I love doing tarot in a haunted location as well. Certain ones, I only use my decks that I use specifically for investigations, because I don't want to use the same tarot deck that I'm going to use for my own personal readings that I've had various spirits at locations putting their energy on. If that makes sense. All right. But I have certain decks that I use choose 4 locations so that the spirits can direct me, and I always wait until they pull the cards. So I just keep shuffling and meditating until they actually pull the cards for me. So I know that is what they've chosen. So I don't know, it's just a very intimate experience if anyone ever, and I didn't try that until I was years and years in on doing tarot readings. Because then I think you really open yourself up.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
you have
and
to be
it's
some
just like a
kind of
Ouija board.
sensitive.
Yeah, in a way. You're having them go through something so very personal with you. So I did not try that for a very, very long time, but it's just something that I knew was for me to do on investigations. Everybody has their own tools and methods. Why is the mirror clean in the parlor and dark in Jessie Mae's room?
I don't know.
We don't really know.
It has to have something to do with the infrared lighting, because if you go in there during the day, it's perfectly clear. That has to do with all lighting, that's all.
Yeah, it's mostly the lighting. I think a lot of the times that things, and a lot of times you're seeing cars drive by and the headlights, and it kind of gives you the illusion that things are there that really aren't there.
We probably need to invest in some more window coverage.
Yeah, we probably need to do that. Okay, do you notice a difference investigating at night versus daytime?
Yep. Spirits are around all the time. They are just more prevalent at night. It seems that certain times at the night are the veil between the spirit world and our wet world is thinner. And that's easier for them to come through. So that's what I feel. What do you think?
I think so too. I think that, you look through like mythology and just beliefs going way back that darkness can prevail. That's when things, when the spirit world can communicate with us easier. Not that we don't have experiences during the day. We have experiences during the day in all the locations we go to just as much as at night. So I think sometimes just you probably, I don't know, think darkness is spookier, but I do think that maybe there is some truth to that the veil is thinner when it's darker.
Yeah, the later it is, it has, it even has stuff to do with the moon.
When your moon's out.
Yeah.
Are there any people today that are related to anyone that used to live in that home?
There are
I have a theory.
What do you mean? There's people, spirits here, or people in the town?
It just says, are there any people today that are related to anyone that used to live in that home?
Well, yeah, there
Or
are.
people in the area.
There are people in the area that are related to here. That's how we got the picture on the wall over there of Jessie Mae Saxton. That's because her descendants do live in the area, and they donated a copy of that picture. Even sometimes when we're doing live streams here, we do get people commenting, "Oh my God, I remember living there when I was a kid," because at one time this was even a rental home back in the day.
That is really cool when we have people come in who used to live here, or new people that lived here. And that's awesome.
Yeah, I know.
But I think it's interesting that your Annie Lisk, is she your great grandmother?
I don't know anything about her. The first time I knew anything about her is when I started volunteering at the depot.
You do know that her name is Annie Mae
Lisk Jackson.
Jackson, and Marina and John Mae's daughter was Annie Mae. And Jesse's family has been in Brooksville for how long?
Probably since the late 1700s.
Since the late 1700s. So it's just, I think you may have a tie.
Right, so at the train depot, there's an old head marker, and then there's even like an iron board. On it, it said it's from Annie Mae Lisk Jackson. So we know that one of John Mae's daughters was named Annie. And
Annie Mae.
so you have Annie Mae. It's possible she married a Lisk, and then later on married a Jackson. So that's why you have the names or whatever it is. I don't know if it's real or if it's just something that we're thinking or making up, but it could be some weird way that I'm all tied to this house, and somehow I'm here now.
Yeah. I think your family has been here.
Yeah.
Since before the Mays were here.
We were no famous people, we were just old
You're
farmers.
Let's see. I can still see man in fireplace now. That's Melissa. What's the coolest experience you've had? That's Laura.
Anytime something moves. One of the cooler experiences, I won't say it's the coolest because they're all equally tied, but
Yeah,
it was
it's
actually
different.
here at the Michinger house. I was last year in the kitchen and the doors on the Hoosier cabinet opened up by themselves. That was really cool. I mean, seeing the spirit at Waverly Hills, that startled me, but it was still really cool. I mean, anytime you get any kind of paranormal anything, to me it's...
And it happened twice. So it was like validation.
Yeah, exactly.
And Bill, oh, we miss you, Bill. Bill said, if anyone gets a chance to investigate with these two, please do it. Experience of a lifetime.
Thanks, Bill.
Oh,
Bill's such a sweetheart.
I know. We miss you, Bill. Link said, the folks that say they aren't afraid when hunting, are they being naive/foolish?
Or they're trying to be brave on camera.
That's true, yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Depends on the individual, but I mean, I think a lot of people, when they're on camera, they don't want to seem scared, because that's just human nature.
Exactly. But I mean, there's been a few times I was scared. When I seen the whistler down at the training field, I was scared. I was ready to run out the door, but I was on camera, so I held it together.
Yeah, I think it just depends. Like for me, I'm jumpy at times, and it depends on just kind of like my mood. If I'm more, I don't know, it's weird. Because not too long ago we did the 4-room live, and we love to bring this up. When we had the 4-room live and we heard the heavy footsteps, I thought someone was in the house because we've heard footsteps. We hear footsteps in the house all the time, but this was like heavy.
Yes, you got scared.
I did not get scared.
Yes, you did.
I just thought someone was in the house. Heavy foot, like boots, back and forth, like pacing from James's room to the stairwell. And I told Jesse, I was like, someone's in the house. And you're like, you're scared. Whatever.
You were scared.
I was not scared.
It's okay.
Henrietta said, my first experience was in Tombstone, Arizona, about 5 years ago. It's an experience I'll never forget. In fact, every place there is haunted. That's pretty cool.
I'm sure it is, man. Can you imagine all the stuff that
Tombstone,
happened?
Arizona. I've been to Arizona, but I haven't been to Tombstone. In
No,
Arizona?
no, it's a wild west back then.
And you don't have to go Wild West. You're just not
I'm
interested.
not really interested
Jesse's
in the
not
cowboy
interested in
and
cowboy
Indian
stuff.
thing.
But that sounds really cool.
Indians around here, I'm interested in.
Yes.
Cowboys.
Nancy said, can you feel drained after having encounters with spirits? Oh my gosh, yes. We call it like paranormal hangover. It is a legit thing.
It is something that you want to call to work the next day or two afterwards.
And Nancy, I can tell you too, like we've done lives, and it's not that a lot of times I don't want to go on camera and investigate with Jesse. There's a lot of times when we set up, we get hit with like paranormal energy, and I get a headache. It's the
I always
weirdest.
get a headache whenever stuff's
But
like
it's
that.
the weirdest headache for me. I don't know about Jesse, but I get it like right
Mhm.
between my eyes, and my headaches are never right there. But when it's a paranormal headache, it's right there. And sometimes it's like a
I'm drained.
stabbing pain, and I'm like, I can't.
After the hospital investigation we just did with the group or whatever, I was wore out for days. Like the whole week I felt just
Yeah, and
awful.
we're at the old Lakeside Hospital, that location that we just recently started investigating with our friends, Tori, Dana, and Tina. That place hasn't been investigated much at all, and it's like when you go in there, and it's sad. I mean, the hospital's experienced a lot of tragedy, but also births and celebrations. But when you go in there, it's awesome in a paranormal way because you can just feel the spirits like rush you, but it's also overwhelming emotionally. Like the first time I went there, I had to keep stopping because I kept crying, and it kind of gets painful. But it's also really cool because it was non-stop activity. So definitely, they totally drain you.
I want to say something about the whole hospital investigation.
Oh,
I mean, we ain't really talked about it, but now we're gonna be videotaping. Yeah, we're gonna be videotaping everything we do on our group tours because we had our group tour at the Old Lakeside Hospital. Now, the first time we investigated it, we captured a woman humming on video, and that's on YouTube too. But this time, you know, we talked about this humming that we captured when we took them to the tour.
And it's like, I don't know if to interrupt you, but the humming sounds like a woman rocking a baby.
Okay, so it's me, Craig, Brooke, and I think two or three other guests were on the second floor just hanging out.
Yeah.
And we kept hearing a lady going, and there's two people down the way that are investigating with the spirit box. The whole time I'm thinking it's them. And this lasted for like 5 minutes. It's just this over and over and over and over. And finally Brooke's like...
It was loud too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I'm thinking in my head there must be a guest humming.
To try to get a response.
But then I kept looking at Craig, and Craig's looking at me, and I'm looking at Craig, and we're both just like, but we're not doing anything. And then, I don't know, you're busy. But Craig and I are just looking at each other. Nobody thought to film.
Right, but you finally hop up and you go down there.
But then I thought, I have to check. I have to check if someone's humming. So I went down the hall, and there were two, there was 4 people, 2 sets, and both groups had a spirit box on way down the hall. And I asked them, you're humming? And they're like, no, we're just asking questions. And they had a spirit box on. So nobody was humming, and we didn't film it. And it would have been the same humming we got the last time.
That was so cool.
But that was paranormal regret.
That's one of my favorite experiences lately.
Because it wasn't just, we all heard it, and the guests heard it. And that's really cool when you can hear just voices without any equipment.
That was great.
And you have all these witnesses. So I can't wait to go back to the hospital. Oh, and you can tell about the poop. I'll follow that.
Oh, when you get into the portal and it sounds like a little kid goes,
Poop.
let's go sing this.
Okay, sorry.
Wait, we're out of time.
Okay.
Yeah, we got it.
Let's see. We've seen you run, Jesse. Laura said they've seen you run.
You have seen me run.
Jesse has gotten scared in this house.
I was up in the attic. I got ran up on, but that was when something else was going on in the attic. It hasn't happened in a long time.
It wasn't Gary either.
It was not Gary Bear. This was something else. But I did get startled in the attic and ran out the sucker one time. But I turned around and ran back.
You got some courage and you went back in there.
I did. It was in the moment because you could feel the feet in the floor running up on me, and then the rush of energy. The energy is what scares me.
Yeah, you feel stuff rush up on you at the old Lakeside Hospital. I know I felt that, and a lot of touches. Like the last time we were there with the group, almost everybody got touched. And when we were on the PIT trip at the Randolph County Asylum, am I saying right? When we were up in the attic, we've got that videotaped where we were together with Craig and Jace, and something ran up on us, and you can feel the floorboards moving and it running up to you. That's pretty cool. But I think because we were all together, 4 of us, it wasn't scary. But it'd be different if we were all together.
It was scary when I had that alarm.
It was. Damn. Sure. And Michelle said the whistler was scary. And Carol said that she remembers at the depot that look on your face when you saw Whistler. She was scared.
I'm not gonna lie, it's scary. I was there with myself. That man looked mad. He did not look happy.
He was not happy you were there.
And he was bigger than me. You know, this little guy. He was bigger than me.
Francis said James touched my granddaughter's bottom. Laugh out loud. Francis, we are sorry that James touched your granddaughter's bottom. He tends to do that, or a spirit here.
Yeah.
It's been known to
next
touch
time, you know,
bottom.
Just rough him up a little bit. Say, hey, what's up? Why are you touching him?
I know here at Maystringer, we get a lot of, I don't think it's the females. I don't think you've ever been touched, just been touched.
I've been waiting for Gary to grab my butt.
The females get touched, maybe by James, might be James, and the hair, we get a lot of playing with the hair.
Why it gets the whole.
And yes, this too. But we apologize for that. And Myrtle said, yeah, that was so loud, that sound of walking that night. Yes, that was the night, the walking back and forth, that when we were here, I swore someone was in the house because I never heard footsteps that loud. Bill said, I get scared and I will run. Bill, did you run when you saw that little girl?
I think so. I don't think Bill wants to go back to that place anymore.
Bill, would you go back to that place, please? Where was that?
That was at the Chiefland Theater.
Was that the Chiefland Theater where you saw that girl apparition? James says, hi guys, I'm a former ghost hunter from Ohio. Sue's, how owned the ghost cat at the Maystringer house? You asked about the ghost cat at the Maystringer house?
What do you want to know about?
Who owned? Maybe it's who owned. We don't know as much about the ghost cat.
No.
Just that there's a ghost cat here. We pretty much confirmed it.
There is.
There's definitely a ghost cat here.
I thought it was goofy, but it definitely is here. And he's not bound to one room.
Oh, I love kitties.
I know, we've been trying to get the laser pointer.
I know, we need to do that. We need to have a live just focused on bringing out the cat.
Maybe we just need to do the old 70s laser lights.
Toys.
We could always do the strobe. One of the first apparitions I ever seen was during a strobe.
Should we have a whole live just trying to get the cat out? I think we should. Let me get me out. What do you think?
We can take Mr. Belly up here.
Do that.
That's my cat.
Bill said because of investigating, he has no sick time left. Oh, Bill.
Sick time, you sucker.
Doesn't matter, Bill. You're still gonna investigate with us.
I wish I had sick time.
Bill, we're gonna go to the jail. Which jail are we going with, Bill?
He wants to go to Gilchrist.
We're gonna go to Gilchrist, Bill. Set that up.
Spider jail. How about you,
There's spiders all over?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe not. Forget that, Bill.
You can go in there and throw some spider bombs in there first.
I don't do spiders.
I don't do spiders. I'll scream like a girl when I see
I don't
spiders.
do spiders either. Melissa Kate said yes, seen Jesse suffer on lives. We've seen you scared.
Makes it more real.
Yeah.
Can't help it.
Nancy said I was there too at the first group tour. Oh, that's cool, Nancy.
Thank you.
Sue said, which is your favorite part of the house? Mine is Jessie Mae's room.
Mine
obvious.
is the kitchen.
This is the kitchen. I mean, I love all the rooms. I love the whole entire house. But Jessie Mae's room has my heart.
I mean, you know, the attic's up there. It's not my favorite place, especially in the summer. I don't want to really be up there much.
Yeah.
But I love the kitchen. I'm really concentrating on finding out who this one is that's in the kitchen.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
It's my goal.
Beautiful. I just love interacting with Jessie Mae and Marina.
You spend a lot of time up there reading through
I
Jesse.
do.
I just piss him off like bouncing balls.
You do. Jesse makes Marina mad. Because he's, you know, but not in a bad. I think Marina loves you, but you irritate her.
I can't be irritated.
Yeah. But you're, yeah. why is the noise box so noisy? The spirit box? Why is the spirit box so noisy? It just is.
It is. It's putting out static for spirits to speak through that white noise. So if you turn on the TV back in the day, whenever you had the whole snow effect,
It's just.
you need that white noise for spirits to speak through, and that's just the way it's like that.
Yeah, sorry Patricia, we don't really have a better scientific answer.
That's the real answer.
Yeah, well, okay, that's a scientific answer according to Jesse.
That's just
so people have heard the faint meow of the ghost cat a few times.
I've heard people have gotten the ghost meow. I want the EVP of the ghost meow. I don't get what he said.
Yes, if anyone has the EVP of the cat meowing, send it to the Brooksville PIT.
Because me and Craig were already talking about, you know, there's an old dairy farm down the street, and we were going to investigate that place so we can get a ghost cow, because we want to hear moo. If we got a ghost moo, I would be so happy.
How scared were you, Jesse, when Craig felt overwhelmed by a spirit at the hospital? He felt like he wanted to jump.
Oh, that was at Waverly.
Was that Waverly? Oh, this is what I heard. Was that the most scared Craig has been?
I think so.
That was Craig's scariest moment.
I wasn't really scared. I was just like, Craig asked for this, because Craig did. He asked for it.
He asked?
He always does. So that's me, go ahead, dog. He did the same thing when we investigated the house that had Legion in it. So when we go on the law, Craig disappears. You go look for Craig, he's sitting in a chair like this. And then you snap him out of it, and he's like, oh boy, I don't remember the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, you don't want to invite them.
It's not scary. It's like somebody sleepwalking or something. Wake up.
Are you going to do them?
No. You know, the old investigator Angela took them off, and they saged and blessed them and everything, and I stayed up there all myself.
You didn't even sage it? You didn't help? You just let it, you're just like, whatever.
Well, we just filming it. You gotta get it on camera. I would have taken care of them.
Hey Tina, Tina's watching. I heard the humming, I was one of them. I felt drained for 3 days.
Oh, she was there on the ghost group tour?
Yes.
Oh man, that was a bad hangover for me too. That hospital.
Yeah.
God.
Oh, so Nancy heard the humming, yeah.
Yes.
Let's see. Bill, what are you doing? Tina and Bill are talking. Bill worked overtime today, showered in PJs.
Bill?
Bill, you need to investigate with us again. Get out of those PJs.
Yeah. Anytime.
Did you ever bring a presents home from the house?
Not from here. Never.
I think I have from here. I mean, most of the spirits here, well, I would say most of the time they are content at the May Stringer house. They're here for a reason. They don't really follow people home from this location. I think I brought somebody home who stayed for a little bit and then came back. Should I brought that? No. And I think that was Frank Saxon. I think he did follow me home. Because, yeah.
Because you were having dreams.
I was having dreams about him for a while, like about the plantation and things.
And that's when ghosts can
But
talk.
we're here all the time. And again, yes, that's in our dreams. That's when they can show us. And we're always saying we want to see what life was like during that time when they lived here. And that's a way for them to show us. But I think most of the time the spirits mostly just stay here, on like other locations.
Right, they're here because they want to be.
Yeah. Like when we go to the jail or like we talk about cemeteries, I think that
They don't want to be there.
they do follow more in those type of locations. Bill said Jesse's tough. He only ran 2 feet. Henrietta said, Jesse, are you ever going to use your 4-view cameras?
Yes.
It's been a while since
After
4-view.
all of these group tours are over, I do plan on doing the 4-room live stream once again. We have been busy every weekend, and to be honest with you, I'm too. But yes, we will be using them again. I did spend all that money to use them. We'll get there again, I promise.
Yes. Well, And it was hard with the volume.
We were having issues with volume.
When we were doing 4 rooms, the volume was an issue.
And it would aggravate me because there shouldn't be no issue.
Yeah. I'd like to have a kit in our house. Bill said he froze when he seen it. I think, okay, when we asked Bill about the apparition, he froze when he saw it, he couldn't move. Then he deleted Facebook for 2 weeks. I'll go back if you guys go with. Okay.
Yeah, we'll go with you.
We'll go with Bill.
I'll hold you.
Jesse will definitely hold your hand. Melissa Kate said there was a loud cat crying last night. Was there really a loud cat crying last night?
If you do hear that, can you please find the time and let us know what time that was?
Yes, please. We're so obsessed with cat EVPs or cat evidence. Tammy said jingling balls and catnip to get the cat. I want to help.
Ghost
Tammy.
catnip.
Yes. Let's do this. Let's get this cat, or get evidence of this cat. Bill said his batteries died and camera shut off during the live. Then she popped up for a second. Oh, cool. I know you don't find it cool, but
Feels cool though.
yeah. Melissa Kate said the kitchen is her favorite room. Bill felt the cat brush up on his leg in the attic. I think the cat is mostly in the attic.
Because of the rodents.
Maybe because of the rodents in the attic. But people have seen the apparition of the cat, or felt the cat in other areas of the house, not just the attic.
Mm-hmm.
What was the thing on tripod in that room for last night? It was an EM pump, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was an EM pump. The EM pump puts out electromagnetic energy into a different frequency. And it's a way to call spirits as well as fuel spirits, so they can use that energy to manipulate our devices, even show themselves, to talk, whatever.
Yeah, and at the jail, they were just draining the batteries.
Yeah.
And the EM pump like crazy. The jail, the Hamilton County Jail, it's really active all the time. Every time we go, it's really active.
If you're a new investigator and you watch everything you've seen on TV on ghost shows, forget all of that. That's not real investigating, period. Sometimes you don't get to know experiences, then you'll go home and you listen to your audio and you realize you actually got a lot more than you really thought you did. Of course, everybody's looking for that experience to see a ghost, to be touched, to see stuff move. It don't always happen that way, unfortunately. But if you continue to try and keep trying and keep trying and don't give up and open your mind to these things, eventually something is going to happen, and you're going to chase that again and again and again to try to find it again.
Yeah, I think like a voice recorder is probably like the best tool.
Absolutely.
We will probably catch something on the voice recorder, and it's definitely incredible, way more incredible than other things. So voice recorder would be, I would say, #1 item to have.
Yep. Voice recorder and that K2 or something.
Yes, K2 too.
That's
well.
it.
But everybody can basically use a voice recorder of some type of.
You ain't got a voice recorder, you can download an app on your phone that works just as good.
Yes.
We need to start wrapping up.
Okay,
It's
real quick.
7:28.
Honor said, can the SLS be on the live one night running? I would like the SLS to be running all night on the live.
I would
We
like
have
to say
done
we
it.
have done this in the past and we have gotten more complaints about everybody with the SLS on the live.
Have we?
Yes. Yes.
What were the complaints?
The dots that it throws out.
Oh, it throws out dots. It does make the room look weird, but a lot of people like the SLS camera.
I can do it.
Jesse does not like the SLS
I can do
camera.
it on time anytime. We're gonna,
Anybody want to see the SLS for a live? Yes.
if you do, you know, this,
You just keep letting us know. Maybe Jesse will allow it.
actually, we have to go back to the old tablet for that.
Bill said I can see why anything would follow Brooke, not Jesse.
I'm dead, check.
Oh.
Alright.
Okay, hold on. camera recording you has been adjusting, including going partially dark to light intermittently the past 5 minutes?
I cannot see the cameras, no.
No, I'm not really looking at the camera, but that's interesting. Have you ever seen anything out in the yard of this house?
Deer. I've seen some deer.
Oh, we did see deer late one night after a late night tour. It was like 2:30 in the morning. We were done. The guests had left. And we saw deer.
Well, there is this one time.
I mean, that's not paranormal.
Brooke and I, we were here for a late night. We stepped outside to get some fresh air. I turned around and I guess Brooke went back inside. But I heard Brooke saying, "Jesse," and I'm like, where the hell is this woman? And I'm looking around like, hey, she like hiding in bushes or something, and then she pops out the door. So somebody was mimicking Brooke's voice, calling my name outside one time.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Yeah. You went fucking stashed in the bushes.
No, I went to the bathroom that night, and then I was talking to guests. So I was not outside, and he heard someone mimicking my voice calling for him. What do you do to protect yourself from attachments or possessions? I personally use crystals, and I don't know, I mean, everyone's different, but.
Some people sage yourself, some people make sure you ask them to stay.
Yeah, but even in the moment though, when you're investigating, I always like leave myself open, but also I don't know, I mean, it really works, but I just try to remain calm and grounded.
I don't do anything.
Jesse doesn't do anything. Jesse just wings it.
One more question and we gotta stop.
Okay.
Our group's worst coming up.
I
gotta get something in my bed.
Infrared cameras will pick up all the dots from the SLS. That was Bill. Okay, guys, so we're just gonna wrap it up.
Yes, we've been on here for an hour. Our group.
Was it really that long?
Yes, our group investigation starts at 9 o'clock. It is now 7:30, so we don't even have our gear here set up and everything right now. We wanted to do this quick, well, I guess hour-long Q&A.
I think it was quick.
It was an hour.
It was quick.
Anyways, if you're interested in us doing more of it, please let us know. I know I have a crap ton of stories. I'm trying to keep the language down. I have a lot of stories to tell. I could write a book.
Yeah.
I know you have your own stories, and I know I definitely have over the years.
We do.
If we ever can get Craig here with us, that'd be great too.
Oh, I know. We need to do this with Craig.
Yeah. But everybody, thanks for tuning in, and I hope we answered some of your questions. And if you have any questions that we didn't answer, please feel free to message us on Facebook. And
if you'd like for us to do this again, and hopefully, like we said, with Craig.
Yeah, and we will answer your questions through that. Or even if we're doing regular live streams, you can always ask, but we didn't answer for you.
It's a little bit harder. We always mean to answer your questions during the live, but when we're setting up,
too, though.
Yeah, there's always a delay, just so you guys know that. And then when we're doing our quick lives, well, our quick investigations on the lives, it's hard to really answer all the questions.
All right.
So, yeah. Jesse's ready.
I have to. We have to. So love, peace, and chicken grease. Thanks for watching, everybody out there, and we appreciate each one of you guys for following along with us and for joining us with our adventures every week. Please continue to help us share and grow.
And it's not just, well, to also share the paranormal activity that we get, but also to keep these historical buildings standing.
That's what this is all about.
That's what it's about. We volunteer at the Military Museum and other locations like the Hamilton County Jail to preserve that history and keep those buildings standing and preserved.
Absolutely. So everybody have a blessed night, and we can't wait to see everybody who is coming tonight. So have a great night.